All right, welcome. This is Nuke Marine presenting Let's Read Japanese, course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. Today's video is Terrace House, Week 9. So we're reaching the end of this season. Although, again, these shows go week by week by week. So I don't know how it works out. But, again, just last episode went by pretty fast because they were just doing, the girls award, girls award, girls world. Was it award or world? Probably girls world. Okay, but anyway, they were doing that, so pretty much skipped over. They were trying to play off the. Felt like they were. Make sure I'm remembering correctly about what parts. Okay, that wasn't the previous episode. That was the episode before last, and then kind of like the aftermath, if you want to call it that, on what? I think like it ended like they were having breakfast, like Makoto or not Makoto, Masto and Die were having the breakfast. God, now I feel stupid because I'm mixing up like what happened, what events happened, because I was like, okay. Anyway, it felt like that was the producers trying to create drama by saying, okay, hey, you two just go out, only you two go out and have breakfast, so have the everybody talk about how the fact that you're having breakfast is cool. And then it ended also with everyone talking about, household chores or making sure trash is taken care of. All right, so that's where we're at. Okay, so with that kind of weird recap, let me just say, for those of you watching on YouTube, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy, leave a comment. Feedback's always welcome. If you enjoy this series and you'd like to see more like it, because I plan to do a lot more like this, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll add that this is a part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. So if you appreciate what I'm doing to help the Japanese learning community and all the weird ways in which I do it, and you'd like to support that in some manner, one way is via the Patreon. So a link to that is in the description. Then there's also links to the community Discord and the Patreon. And lastly, if you'd like to have face-to-face time with me, Discord, Skype, Zoom, wherever, and talk, and again, it says talking about, an hour of my time that you want to talk about something directly, addressing any concerns, help you, walk you through setting up process, whatever. If you'd like that, there's a direct link in Patreon specifically for that purpose in the description as well. Okay, with that said, let's get started. Get both earphones in. Okay, we're for YouTube. We're at the 13-minute mark. I'm not YouTube. I'm sorry, but I'm at the streaming. I'm at the 13-minute mark. So I'm going to use that as a mental. Try to keep a mental registry of that, to see how long it takes to get through this video. Okay, episode 9.
こんばんは。今日もオレンジ色の車中からお送りいたします。見ず知らずの男女が6人が見ず知らずお送りいたします。今日もオレンジ色の車中からお送りいたします。見ず知らずの男女が6人がシェアハウスで暮らし始めて、いろいろな物語を織りなしております。
織りなしております。
いろいろな物語を織りなしております。番組が用意したのは素敵なお家と素敵な車だけです。あとは男女6人が繰り広げている最中ということですけれども。
That's not all, because again, like they went to the Girls World show, and they're right on the runway stage. I'm pretty sure tickets to that location would have been super freaking expensive. I'm pretty sure they were comped. So yeah, the show is giving them like probably also like for the dates and whatnot. They're providing these as well. Just saying, it's not just the house and the car.
メンバー的には AKB のメンバーの女の子がいたり、モデルちゃんがいたり、プロサーファーがいたり、大学生がいたり、あとはちょっと物を書いている女の子がいたり。
Yeah, so that's Sakakibo. Yeah, Shibo. Yeah, so she wants to be a writer. I was like, that was actually just not realizing that for the longest time. But yeah, there we are. Because you never see her doing her job. She was always just like popping in, talking about maybe getting yeah, asking questions about somebody else's relationships or talking about getting plastic surgery. Very little, or a little bit about her parents passing away, but not much else. I know there was that scene when she was at when I rewatched it, then I realized she was at the publisher office where that conversation took place.
そして消防士を目指していると男の子がいたりするんですが、なんとマー君、サーファーマー君がモデルちゃんとなんかチューとかした直後にですね、
パンケーキの島の行きたいって言ってたじゃん。や
ったー、めっちゃ嬉しい、
あれハワイの美味しいパンケーキですけど、そりゃ楽しそうにパンケーキを食べてるてっちゃんとモデルちゃんの嘘2人と
Because y'all set it up that way.
仲になっちゃいますよね、そりゃ。でベッドルームで女3人で喋ってたらちょっと。
By the way, you notice though they talked about it, and it's like after that they never brought it up again. It's like it was not really that big of an issue, other than that's one of those where you know it's the publisher, the producers that are setting it up, as opposed to just this naturally what's happening among the group.
マー君とチューしちゃった。
This part.
チューしちゃったんですか、モデルちゃん。そうなのよねとか言われて、でも私パンケーキ誘われたのになんだろうそれってでもチューとかしたんだってなりますよね。そん
I don't think that was going through her head.
な女子トークもありつつ、一応みんなでねリアルに生活のところちょっと車さ、マー君のじゃないじゃん。
ゴミ袋とかあそこにさ 5袋6袋とかもめちゃくちゃ溜まってるわけね。
てんちゃんだけがやってるんじゃないから、みんな多分かけてこうやってるから、
だんだんいろんなことがリアルになってきましたね。どうなるんでしょうね。マー君モテモテです。マー君モテモテです。そりゃそうだな。
Playtime is over. I wonder where they get these titles from, but
全然入ってる。おはよう。眠いね。
大丈夫？もうじゃなんか
何？
おばあちゃんみたい
あんたもジジイみたいに感じてるわよ。
やんのか？
やんのか。
okay, see, problem solved. They just put up a chart on whose duties there are for the week. Yeah, see, they solve it like adults, and like.
冬だな。
冬で。師走や。
She was. I would not have guessed that. She was, yeah.
師走や。
寒い。お。
あ。そういう感じ。
So that's better because it's metal. You got a few. It's actually it's not covered like that, so it'll just be a green netting, and those could be bad because crows can get into those and pull the garbage and spread out. Same with raccoons. I don't know if there's raccoons in this area or not.
寒いね。ちょっと食べちゃおうかな。
ただいま。
おかえり。
おかえり。
やばいね、ももちゃん髪色。
ピンクにしたの？
何色？それ。
赤にしたの。赤なの？さあ初めて言ってくれた。
いいじゃん。
いいですよ。
うん。
赤。
にしたクリスマス。
いいな、赤したいな。
都内すごいクリスマスのさ、
イルミネーションやばいね。クリスマスパーティーしようよ。
ね、超したい。クリスマスパーティーなんて。
サンタのコスプレする。
しようよ。
コスプレしてしよう。
これはね認める。いいでしょう。
じゃあトナカイさんね。
Tonokai. Oh, that's the deer. That's right, Tonokai. Let's see, is there a kanji for it? Tonokai. Okay. Osana naji. So the na and deer. Yeah. Experience tamed. Osana naji ni shita o.
似合う。
じゃあトナカイさん。じゃあトナカイさんね。
似合うよ絶対。だって髪はすでにトナカイ。
そう。マークは何がいい？マーク元気ないに疲れてんの？
思った。
別に
疲れてる。
なんもないよ。
やりますよ。チキンとか食べますよ。
ね、七面鳥の夢一回でいいからもう。
Shichimencho. Was it 7 flavors or a turkey? God damn it, I should have remembered that. Shichimencho. Okay. I would not guess from definition that's a turkey, by the way. Shichimencho.
七面鳥の夢一回でいいからもうドンってね、作りたいね。超でかいしね。
カットマンからスラッシュってカービングみたいな、カットマンからのスラッシュってカービングみたいなやってこうテール前にやつですか。
Carving.
最後蹴るみたいな。これはね、ローラーコースターです。テールスライドそういうのはやってもらいたいの。テール抜くってことですよね。そう、テール抜いて、まあ。
See, I mean that's cut back. So that's a smash, I assume, but I don't know what these are for surfing terms. But, I mean, it sounds like movements or whatnot. Smash, I would just assume after coming off a wave. It doesn't matter.
水平ぐらいまで、回して戻っても。
Where are we at here?
まあ、そうテール抜くってことですよね。そう、テールスライド。これはね、ローラーコースター最後蹴る。ローラーコースターです。テールスライドそういうのはやってもらいたいの。テール抜くってことですよね。そう、テール抜いて、まあ水平ぐらいまで、回して戻っても、まあ水平ぐらいまで、回して戻っても、
Okay.
粘ったね。粘りましたね。いやよかった。
粘りました。Sticky? Okay, stuck to it. Okay. Akira Mezuni. Neki yoku suzukeru. Okay. Nebaru. Makes sense.
いやよかった。
フローターサブルク。
粘ったね。粘りましたね。いやよかった。
フローターサブルク。
いやよかったですか。
お、いいじゃん。
Floater. Probably floating. Okay.
はい、お願いします。あ、着きました。はい。
じゃあこれで OK。
はい。
お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様です。お疲れ様です。
こんなやる。
お疲れ。
全然気にしてないこういうの。
上手に食べたな。さすがお前横浜でデートした人。いやいやいや。上手に食べたな。さすがお前横浜でデートした人。いやいやいや。いやいやいやいやいやいや。それでなんか話ぐっと戻るけどさ。てっちゃん消防士ダメだったんですよ。ね、聞いたけど。もう大方の予想通りみたいな。
Large part, mostly. Oh, got to.
もう大方の予想通りみたいな。
だって今19でしょ。本当。よくそんだけ将来のこと考えてるだけ偉いよ。19なんつったらもう何考えてたろ。もう次のご飯のことぐらいしか考えてなかったのでもうバカじゃない
でもさ消防署ダメになってまた当分いてくれるなっていう嬉しさはみんな持ってる。
ありがとうございます。
いや本当にねこんなさみんな応援してんのにさ消防士でもうダメで彼女もダメだなんてことにならないよりね。
あと何が残されてんのってなっちゃうからね。
ももちゃんでいいじゃん。ももちゃんダメなの今から帰るのは。
いやいやいやもう。
それでさ仕事はどうするの。どうしようかなと思ってるの。
だから本当にこう気持ちを入れてできるものを見つけていきたいです。
でも結局さフリーターですとかさアルバイトですって言うとさ、やっぱりね彼女もできにくいっていうかさ、やっぱりそういう意味でやっぱりね彼女もできにくいっていうかさ、やっぱりそういう意味ではきっちり職種を見つけるっていうのは大事だよね。
Various jobs? Types of okay. 職種。きっちり職種を見つけると。
きっちり職種を見つけるっていうのは大事だよね。
そうですね。
Fuji-san looking really beautiful.
おはよう。
おはよう。どうしたのおしゃれしちゃって。お出かけ？
いや今日ね夜からね、ちょっと
お出かけ? Oh yeah, sorry.
したパーティー。いや今日ね夜からね、ちょっとしたパーティーがあってね。
なるほどね。
でもね夜までさ暇なんだけど、今日何してんの？
今日は僕も夜まで。
本当？
暇です。
マジ？ご飯食べ行く？
行こうか。
お腹減った。乾杯する？
乾杯する。
やば。
高級な味がする。
ね。なんかさ毎日喋ってるじゃん。割と。なんか。
ね。
いざ外出ると何喋っていいか分からない。
いざ外で。
なんかさ毎日喋ってるじゃん。割と。なんか。
ね。
いざ外出ると何喋っていいか分からない。
外のお食事は初だよね、多分2人。
初めて来た。てっちゃんはさすごいさ好きな人ができたとしたらさ、どうするの？
俺の好き度はね、本当にすごいよ。もうこうなるから。
もう他の人とか全く見えないってこと？
もうね、もう周りなんて知らない。
すごいね。意外なんだけど。そういえばさ、この前のりっちゃんとのデートの時とかさ、手とかさ繋がなかったでしょ？
繋がないよ。
なんで？友達の女の子とさなんかふざけて手繋いだ時とかないの？
ないよ。
ないの？
ないよ。
なんで？
いやだってそういうのはさ、その好きな人とさ付き合ってさ、そういう感じになったらつなぐのかもしれないけど、
真面目やな。もう19歳でしょ。
そうだよ、19。
てっちゃんには度胸が足りない。
そ
度胸が足りないよ。
う。うん。お、なんだ。
手ぐらいパッて
She just taking a.
つなげるようになりなよ。
うん、そうだ。ちょっと。ちょっと待って。
てっちゃんには度胸が足りないよ。
いやだって恥ずかしいじゃん。俺も恥ずかしい。ちょっと待ってよ。
手つなぐなんてこんなもんだよ。
いやでもさ、あ、そうですか。
度胸だから
度胸ね。
覚えな。
なるほど。
もうちょっと度胸をつけた方が時もあると思うよ。
度胸ね。帰り。
姉ちゃんお疲れ。
お、帰り。
ただいま。何これ。
これね、来月号にマサト君が乗るやつ。
That gets go. Oh, okay.
来月号にマサト君が乗るやつ。
かっこいいね。こんなの乗ってんだね。
すごいよね。
ねえ。いやなんかさ、やっぱりサーフィンやってる時って人変わるよね。
うん、そうだね。
そう思う。
かっこいいもんだ。
どうしたの？何てっちゃんもかっこいいよ。どうしたの？
そりゃさ、そりゃね、パンケーキ一緒に行こうって言われるよ。
まあ、そうね。
男として、マサト君をさ、見た時にさ、どこがかっこいいと思う？
そうね。フェロモンがあると思う。仕事に対するね、仕事っていうかサーフィンに対するそういうのはすごく男として魅力があると思う。
なるほど、男として。俺男として魅力あるか。
てっちゃん難しいね、どうだろうな。男としてまあわかんない。せな仕事してる男の人が好きだな。でも仕事っていうか何か一つ真剣に熱意を持ってやっ
Passion thought. Let's see. Let's see. Zeal. 一途にそれに打ち込んでいる気持ち。熱心な気持ち。Okay.
真剣に
Actually, let's see if there's a full phrase like now.
熱意を持ってやってる人。
なるほど。あれだよ。
Oh, they are.
あれそうなんだ。大きいね。
Maybe I won't say what that. No, never mind. That's that looks like a kind of like a turtle shell in a way, or a large lily pad. It's kind of cool.
これから卒業制作って言ってたよね。
そうそう、これがね、
これから卒業制作って言ってたよね。
そうそう、これがね、この作品。
これそうなの？
そう、六角形の中にこれが入ってて、で反対になる。おはようございます。おはようございます。こんな感じで。
Mitsura, Mitakura.
進んでます。
今接合してんだ。今接合してんだ。
Let's go. Can we touch or connected? Let's see. Let's go. Connected. Joined. 物と物をつなぎ合わせること。
はい、接合してます今。
今接合してんだ。
はい、接合してます今。変わってます。でちょっと隙間があるんで、この後ちょっと埋めようかなと思って。
そうだね。埋めていかないといけないね。
ちょっと艶が欲しいなと思ってるんですけど。
何回？
Sure, that's home.
やこれまだ1回だけです。1回でいやこれまだ1回だけ
何回しか塗ってないんだっ
いやこれまだ1回だけです。1回で塗ってるだけなんで、
け？あと2回は塗った方がいい。
はい、
ね。やること多いね。
まあでも
まだまだあと何日あるかだよ。
一応早めにはやってる。
でもさ、そのただできたっていうんじゃないわけじゃん。
そうです
ね、こういう形ができましたじゃなくて、自分はこうなんだっていうことを自分が横にいなくても作品自体が語ってくれなきゃいけないんで。でも自分が横にいなくても作品自体が語ってくれなきゃいけないんで、そこにはさ、自分ができることは全部作品にしてあげないと。時間もそうだし、自分の思いもそうだし、情念みたいなものを作品の中に、
情念みたいな。姿勢では、ね、抑える。I should be 抑える。
情念、時間もそうだし、自分の思いもそうだし、情念みたいなものを作品の中に取り込まないと。ね。
はい。
I'll mention, you probably heard it was like the it's not urban legend, but it's like the idea of like it was a thought experiment. Like you had an art class where half the students, they could work on just one vase, but they had all semester to work on that one vase to present it for a final grade, and that was their grade. Then another semester was they could make it a vase a week. Anyway, it was something like that, but or make as many vases as they want, and then they had to make like a vase a week or something like that, or 10 vases a week or whatnot. And they said at the end of the semester, the people who were making 10 vases or whatever a week, they were making a better final product. I think they missed something there. Is that the ones who were making, let's say, a vase a week or 10 vases a week, however, is like each vase needed to be graded. There had to be feedback on what they're doing, and have that be the grade. So the way it would be is like what I would have said is like, okay, hey, you get to make as many vases for one group. You get to make as many vases you want between the groups, but we'll say like for you, your final vase, you get to submit what is the final vase. You can make as many you want, but you have to submit what is going to be the final vase. Okay, if that's their group. The other group is going to be, you have to submit a vase a week for a grade. However, your grade can be improved by the next vase you submit. Somebody, so it's if you're great, every vase you submit is graded, but if your vase you submit is, and the difference is going to be because they're doing it in bulk or a lot more, they're going to have the skill there, but also because it's the feedback, it means they're going to constantly be improving what they do. So they still have to keep making a product, but they are always improving the product because they want a better and better grade. Anyway, that's the difference. Whereas otherwise they would have just submit junk and you can just submit junk in bulk and it remains junk. That's like watching, the TV show with the English subtitles. You watch the show, but it's in English subtitles. You didn't get anything from it. Or, you just looked at a word, but you didn't bother about memorizing. So you just looked at it. But that feedback and trying to improve, that's the key. I don't know. Anyway, back to the story. I just wanted to talk about that. It's a good idea, but you want that feedback, but the constant, don't worry about perfection in one thing, go for good enough in many things, but then constantly try to improve what is considered good enough.
オンの時の翔太君も初めて見た。かっこいいよ。あれです。
Is that supposed to be a bird head?
かっこいい。
いただきます。
We had here.
卒業 生活が終わったらどういう仕事に就くとか。卒業制作が終わったらどういう仕事に就くとか。
一応芸大に入るのにやっぱすごい難しくて2浪2浪3浪なんだけど、なんかそれでも行って入ってくる
I'm missing something here.
人は多分なんだかんだで結構やっぱ作家志望が多い、
結果ね。
作家志望。
多分なんだかんだで結構やっぱ作家志望が多い、
結果ね。
もう本当にやることが決まってる人、将来設計ができてる人が入ってくるから、だから
Should I say okay? Planning for the future? Or okay.
だから僕らは将来設計ができてる人が入ってくるから、だから僕らはもう本当にこの後美術でもう食べていくっていう決心があるからここに入ってきそう。
だから何かしらのこの美術関連の仕事をしながら、この美術だから何かしらのこの美術関連の仕事をしながら飯を食っていきながら作家やるっていうのが結構大抵の人が通るんですよ。2人とも院受けんの？
青パンは？
いや俺は受けるよ。
漆で受けるの？
漆で受ける。結局。
Lacquer? Urishi.
結局。
漆で受けるの？
漆で受ける。結局。
漆で受けるの？
迷ったけど漆で。
Am I missing something there? Urushi. Kiyoi paint?
お疲れ。
お疲れりえちゃん。どうしたの？
いや特になんでもないんですけど。
あ、そうなの？
そうですね。
なんかあったのかと思った。
いや、なんもないです。どうですか？
何どうですか？もうなんか聞きたいんでしょ。
やっぱ大人になると。
何大人になるとって
普通なんですか？そんな酔っ払ってチューすることは。
同い年でしょ。
同い年だけど。
同い年でしょ。
だって別にないもん、うちはそんなこと。
どうもない別に。
別にどうもないの？
どうもないっていうか、いやもうあの時はね、ちょっと結構酔っ払っちゃってて。
覚えてるの？
うん。大体ね。ごめん。
覚えてるんだ。
うん。
なんかシュナさんは覚えてないって言ってたから。
全く覚えてないとかはない。ちょこっとは覚えてる。
マー君のこと好きな人からしたらショックだよね、そりゃ。
それだけ聞きたかったの。
うん、おやすみ。
おやすみ、バイバイ。
バイバイ。
Yeah, that feels staged.
てっちゃんまた寝てんの？
じゃあ
おかえり。どうした？
やばいよてっちゃん寝すぎだよちょっと。毎日この調子じゃんバイトない時。どうすんの？甘えん坊じゃんただの。
甘えん坊。
甘えん坊じゃんただの。どうなの？りっちゃんのデートの後は何も知ってない？
でも気にはなるよ。
気にはなんの？
マサト君とさ、パンケーキ食べに行ったじゃん。
気になってんの？気になってんの？
気になるっていうか、 りっちゃんもなんか好きなのかなとか思っただけちょっと考えたぐらい。でも別にそんな
ちょっと嫉妬しちゃ
う。でもしょうがないなとは思う。なくてさ、まさとくんもさ翔太くんもさ、俺よりなんか一つさランクが上っていうかさ、やることが決まっててさ、ストイックになれるとことか。
ストイック、ストイック、ストイック、ストイック。
やることが決まっててさ、ストイックになれるとことかかっこいいなって思うし、俺にはそれがないから、まさとくんとか翔太くんも羨ましいし。
そんなてっちゃん泣くことじゃないから
泣いてないよ。
泣くことじゃないよてっちゃん。
なんかさ、羨ましいんだよね。置いてかれてる気も
悔
するし。
しいんでしょ、羨ましいってか。
なんかいろんな気持ちある。自信持てるものがあるじゃん、まさとくんとか。
違うよ、別にそういう関係ないから。別に一人の男としてさ、自分で自信持てばいいじゃん。
どこに？
プライドとかないの？
あるよ、そりゃ。
あるでしょ。
だから
そういうの
悔しかった
引き出してきなよ、だんだん。もう一回一皮むけたてっちゃんになって、もう一回一皮むけたてっちゃんになって、りえちゃんまたご飯でも誘ってみれば。てっちゃん俺シャワー浴びてくる。もうなんか気持ち悪い海入って塩だらけで。ねえ、そういえば明日何やってんの？
明日はお休みだよ。
休み？明日夜飯食べに行こうよ。
オッケー、いいよ。
そう、明日さ、大事な話があるから。
何？なんで今言わないの？
ちゃんと話したいよ。
分かった。
明日話すね、だから。
オッケー。何？
言わないで
教えてよ。
気になるでしょ。
気になって寝れないよ。
That's true.
乾杯。お疲れ。
All right.
やばい、こんな可愛いのにもうじゃあちゃんとした話できないな。
ねえ、昨日さ、なんか話があるって言ってた。
あるよ、大事な話。知りたい？
知りたい。眠れないよ、本当に。
寝れなかった？
寝れないよ。
どういう話だと思う？
何？告白？告白って何？
告白だったら
得にしてる。
わざわざ
そうだね。わざわざ
ここまで来てさしないでしょ。
そうだね。ちょっと期待したけど。
なんだそれ。いや。
何？
俺もうこの家出てこうかと思って。
なんで？どうして？
Chunk. There we go. All right. Yeah. So that was. Well, that was interesting. They had Tetsuya. They were dragging him along, like going on a date or kind of a little breakfast dinner. Was it breakfast date? But with Momoko, then also talking with Shota, talking a little bit with Sena, then talking a little bit. I almost felt like it was his final episode. The way they were doing it, like okay. Having his final little pep talks about how, trying to be a bit more assertive, have a little more self-confidence in what you're going to do. You're going to have failures along the way, but, can't let that, can't try not to be embarrassed about, showing connection to someone. Cool. That little bit between him acting all jealous about that felt faked. There was just something like, oh, hey, can you guys talk about it? It just had that feeling like they were just like being proud, like, hey, can y'all talk about this? Because, we kind of went through all the effort of setting it up, and making it seem like this is an important thing, even though none of y'all really cared about it for, a week or two. But now we want you to care about it again. It's one of those things. Because you're expecting these groups to, not just, sometimes just go on, meals and dinners together, kind of like get to know each other, privately, in addition to, going out as groups. You're expecting that. Because, again, he also went out on a date with Momoko, So was that big of a deal? No, it's just breakfast. That's all it was. So, yeah. That and again, it's one of those things where it's in the back of my head. It's like, yeah, is this for real or not? It's hard to tell. Anyway, I think I'll end that there. This was, it went by pretty fast. Let's see, I started at the 13-minute, it was about 37 minutes. Wow, okay, so it's like really fast. I wasn't adding too much commentary, a little bit about that whole artwork thing. I think that the reason why I wanted to mention that is because it's a thing. It's not just about. It's kind of like what I'm doing here, where we want to do immersion. It's like you don't want to go for. I want to understand 100% of a show before I go on to the next one. Just enjoy the show, understand what you can, then go on to the next one. But you're still trying to understand the show, if that makes sense. But you want that mass exposure. So treat these TV shows or books that you read or whatever. Treat that as the pottery project. Think of those as the the daily or weekly test. You do it on the daily or the weekly or whatever, and it's just a matter of keep going for it. And then don't look back. Once that project's finished, boom. It is what it is. It looks ugly. For my case, it's like, hey, I didn't understand what went through that episode. There were lines I didn't understand. I misunderstood stuff. It is what it is. It's in the bag. It's done. Now we're on to the next thing. But I guarantee you, like if in fact if you go and look at my Let's Reads of, it's a little different when I was doing a Let's Read of. Right now I'm going through Zero no Tsukayama. It's a reread of what it is. If you compare that to how I was doing with that one compared to when I was first doing it, you'd see it's a world of difference. But it's not like, oh, I needed to. Let me just step back. All right. When I mentioned, this isn't the first time I've done Terrace House. So I tried to study Terrace House using Boys and Girls Next Door. I'm sorry, Boys and Girls in the City. I tried to do it in a way using subsets or as subtitles to space repetition system. And it basically like line by line. I also went through, did a frequency analysis for most frequent vocabulary words. And the programmer who made that also allowed it to where it showed the first line, gave a line number for the first time in the text that this particular word appeared for the first time. So it's a little low level, kind of like Morphman, but Morphman does it much better because it shows you every appearance, not just the first appearance. So I was trying to learn 50 most common words that weren't that were in the dictionary, so not just names. And I was trying to do it line by line, but that was a bad idea. It took too long. It was taking too much time. Just do one episode. I felt like, okay, I needed to skip over, do an episode to skip the next three, just watch those normally, though I didn't watch it normally, and then watch the next one. So it was like putting too much effort into one thing. Instead of in trying to make it as comprehensible as possible, instead of just what I'm doing now, which is, hey, let me just do this episode, make it as comprehensible as I can just by watching it as quickly as possible. Look up words I don't know. If I memorize it, good. If not, who cares? And just do it. And then maybe watch it again on its own. We'll listen to its audio, but that's it. I mean, I'm not putting a lot of effort into the consumption of the media and the comprehension of the media. But because I'm doing it more and more shows, for one, it's more fun. It doesn't feel like I'm stressing out or I'm burning out on it. It's not boring. And I think that's the most important thing. It's just bulk is good. But you still want that feedback. So the feedback is me looking up words I don't know. Even during the rewatch, hey, did I really comprehend it? Or maybe I add a little extra comprehension. It's okay, yeah, maybe this could have used a little bit more polish. or this edge could have been pushed down a little more. This could have been put up a little more. Who knows? The little tweaks and stuff. But for the most part, I don't worry about it after that. And then it's on to the next episode. It's on to the next episode. So think of it like that. It's just you're going for bulk, but you do want that feedback. And in this case, the feedback is when I look up words, or maybe I ask someone, "Hey, did I really understand this? Is this the correct way?" Like when I watched the first 3 episodes with my wife, I asked her on a few of the things that popped up. It's like, was this the case? Am I misinterpreting what's happening here? And yeah, that's the feedback. That's all. It's just feedback. And from there, you just have slight improvements over time. That's kind of what's happening in Anki when you're learning words. You're not trying to stress like knowing a single word perfectly. You're trying to learn it good enough, but you keep learning more and more words. That's what's happening with Anki. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. For those of you just watching for fun, yeah, just do it that way, and you get what you get. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Thank you all. For those of you on YouTube. For those of you on Twitch, stick around. But anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you enjoyed the series, I'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. If you appreciate what I'm doing, helping the Japanese learning community, you can support that one way is via the Patreon. Links in the description, as well as links to the community Discord and the website. And then lastly, if you'd like to have some one-on-one FaceTime, usually schedule up to an hour, but that could be done via the Patreon. Link in the description as well, specifically for that. Okay, with that, I think, like I said, for those of you on YouTube, I'll see you tomorrow. For those of you on Twitch, stick around. Okay, later.